Oh, they are grouped up.
Yeah, set up for this opening defensive pistol. Is this going to be some kind of tiles crunch play?
KRU are setting their sights towards it. I mean, look at the positioning here. They're pre-aiming this. They have a high-low setup.
No, it's just going to be a slow walk out.
And yeah, no noise made. All eyes on the top section of mid, hoping for a jump spot. Anybody that they can pick off, but they have complete control of mid.
They are absolutely hoping that that was going to be an A exec from KRU, so that they could take top mid control and funnel people into the killjoy.
None of them fell, and they've given up access to the site. What it does mean is that they can fast flank around now. They break the turret, and they obfuscate and still contact. They're really not giving anything away in terms of how many players are playing towards the main, and this is an important fight to win out. Paranoia is excellent. Just on the backside of that one. Still, Nagset is being squeezed close to the corner. He will fall. That's the beauty of it when you take that mid control. Up and down, Davies taking matters into his own hands. A lot of damage off of that shock dart, and players are weak. They are low. Maybe it can be winnable still. 2 versus 2 towards the back of it. Noswa, there's the one and cleaned up. In the end here, pistol round for Lev.
Huge pistol round that mostly comes down to the fight in B main. You were talking about it? Melzer managed to save his paranoia. They realized there was nobody on B, and he uses it to try and keep those players alive. And instead, they just couldn't hold on for long enough. Lev had the pinch coming through. One player towards spawn, one player market, the rest of them coming B main.
DRX. They did that a long time ago on Ascent.
And actually, DRX and LEVIATAN, 2 of the most innovative teams on Ascent, both of which have started to fall off in recent times and are looking to rejuvenate their playbook and find that old form. And a lot of it, I think, is going to be based here on whether KRU can get the read on what's happening. But I've never seen that pistol strap before from Lev, so clearly cooking up at least a couple of new ideas.
A good idea.
We'll have to see how deep it goes.
Early knife. Hangs onto multiple targets, so...
And that 0 point that King just threw, that's one to keep an eye on, because I don't think KRU are the kind of team to frequently go for fast A hits. We see them all the time doing 1-1-3 setups. I was talking about this at the beginning, so was Sean, where they have Nagset watching over towards B main, they have Melzer watching another part of the map, and then the other 3 players taking control.
Yeah, Taco. There it is.
And so this is more what you're expected to see from KRU, is them prodding and looking for picks that they can use later on. Of course, the weaponry looking way too small here, but you might end up seeing LEVIATAN saving their utility, and that's a great smoke by Melzer.
Yeah, he has lurked himself into the forward position in mid. Unfortunately, not able to capitalize.
He was making sure the moles couldn't see it.
Yeah. The tag, we're spotting out these players here, but again, basic game plan here for KRU. Control the extremities, build up the ults, farm up the orbs. See if you can get any picks, but it is healthy for Lev. 3 players grouped up. The time running this short. This is worrying. You've gifted a rifle over. Was that a Guardian? Needs to be containment. Mazzino, is he there? Classic. Shots fired. There is that damage being done. It was getting to the point where I was almost thinking they should just let him live, but...
Yeah, but at the same time, with 15 seconds left, he actually could have got the plant down on A in that situation.
Yeah.
And take a look, you were talking about farming up the ult orbs. Davies is only 2 away from having his null command online. An extraordinary ultimate to have for any attacking team on Ascent. And that's partly because he's been getting the ult orbs up, partly because he got that kill on Mazzino and dies. This is going to be a large tool for them if they can survive this anti-bonus round, which they weakened fairly considerably here. LEVIATAN do not have too much going forwards.
Top flash play. Over the top. Makes him second think any aggression into mid, but look at KRU already. Teeth. Right down the middle. Clean up the alarm box. Another flash to re-clear into market. Taco was playing anti. Not able to get a kill.
It's a very different defensive setup from LEVIATAN. They weren't running this throughout the season. King goes for a peek, but it's a double catwalk setup. A bit of a trap over here.
Important kill to give over.
And meanwhile, all this time, right, they know that KRU are going to be running 1-3-1s where you have a player super far back. Right, this player's really far away, Melzer, all the way back here. And in the meantime, the turret is just controlling and giving information all throughout A main. So this turret is getting massive value for Shy. It means he never has to worry about that and can focus purely on Cat.
Another Angel. Taco hunting for a flash. Again, has to dodge it. Paranoia dashing across. That is perfect play. And well...
Notswa tried to join the site, exec.
Yep, right behind them. Enemy behind their lines, but no, brought down. Left up to 2, and of course the weaker guns. Crew,
30 seconds left.
slow, methodical play from them. Pays off.
Spike planted.
Going around for it.
And Crew are the kind of team that are very good at being able to mold their plan on the fly. They don't tend to come into a round with too many set ideas. They're extremely default heavy. What that means is, even when they see a setup like this from LEVIATAN that Lev have not been running very much before, there's not much VOD footage of them having King playing mid, ready to flash through a smoke or anything like that. With Shy playing over towards A, they just don't run this defensive setup very often, but they're still able to find ways around it, Crew, with their calling. Now, this is one of the few rounds where you might see a fast pop with the null command, and yet still not going for it. Only 3 players in A main, all 3 caught by the 0 point.
Yeah, disrespecting it. Maybe the goal of this is to pull players and rotations over. They timed the dart out. That's Taco. ADSing, but they double face it in the end, and Mazzino will pay for his life.
1 for 1 there. It's not too bad. Whoa, baits out a peek from Shy, who just manages to get away.
Very dangerous.
That's exactly what Nagset and Melza are looking for and trying to prompt out, trying to punish. Here's where Crew like to group up, about a minute on the clock, and go for execs. This is going to be a 4v4 where you could easily see them just ripping off the null command and sending this one in. Yeah. But there'll be no recon dart to combo. Shy might be able to get away with taking a fight.
That is very good reaction times. You knew that null command was coming through. Deaded the Nana Swarms, taking a fight, just onto the ledge, only the one, bringing down Davies, flashed up, beautiful supportive utility. That might have even just been King's own flash, I'm not even too sure. Davies just dropped down to his knees.
Spike planted. I think Davies may have just got that one off, but yeah, you're right. Both KO's using a flash there, but somebody's found value. And Taco and King are going to make the very difficult decision of saving this one.
And I was wondering, in the setup to all of this round as well, you know, we mentioned Davies, he built up that null command really early. I was wondering if Shy was going to adjust the setup a little bit, maybe playing off site for the hit to come through, but he tanked it, and at that point, there's really no helping you. You are alone on an island.
But at the same time, the fact that Klaus had gone down meant that he didn't have to worry about the recon dart. It's much easier to try and anchor and take a fight in that spot, especially if your reaction times are good enough to pop both the Nano Swarms as the null command's coming through anyway, which you pointed out he did manage. So you don't necessarily have to play full retake in those situations. Again, especially when you know the Crew are not a big 5-man rush kind of team.
Yeah. Will they keep the guns intact? Yeah, looks so.
Early decent signs and a difficult decision for the economy here for LEVIATAN. High-low setup there.
Definitely been attempting it a lot. Here's where it gets tough, though. Lev on the defensive side. They have 3 rifles. Maybe not. Second-guessing themselves of whether they want to buy up into this one because they do have Takalia's knives, but instead opting to save for the next. But the danger zone here is you give up another round to Crew, they're up on 3. They can start building towards these ultimates. Very close to it. It's an updraft play.
And this is a much more standard setup from LEVIATAN. Having King and Mazzino anchoring over towards A, Taco free-floating around the map, looking to see if he can force some duels.
Knife, I believe, sailing over. That's going to clear wine and close. Yep, so they know nobody's there. Here's a flash play. Up into the clouds. Thinking about it. Jump spot. Mazzino's been playing there a lot. King close to the corner. They have a nade. Has to worry about his back, but no, giving it up. Yep, there is space there, so pick up the orb, and Klaus has brought the Hunter's Fury online.
Now the question is, what do you go for? You know, Kesnet didn't end up burning his dash in that situation. It wasn't a full attempt at an A hit that got stifled. They were just prodding it out and seeing if they could bait out defensive utility. They didn't get the paranoia out of Mazzino. No nade forced out from King. So not a particularly successful pump fake, but there's still 40 seconds left.
Yeah.
A lot of this could come down to whether Mazzino gets a kill.
Breaks the dart, but he's paranoid. Tries to reposition as well. Smokes hiding everything, but deep into the sights. Kesnet very cut off away from the rest of his team. Door needs to be closed now, but grouped up. No players have left falling. Always potential for this to really go wrong now for Crew. Hunter's Fury is coming late as the hit's coming through. Dart lighting them up. The util's good, but Hunter's Fury might just be better. Rifle, though. In the hands of King. He's leading the charge for his team. The IGL really taking names. Hopping over towards Jenny. Shy just dodging it, spotting it out. It's a 3-2-1 face. I love that discipline. But Nagset left alive. It's a 1v2 for him. A jump spot, doesn't know if he's sticking it, and that is played to perfection almost. Really love that from Lev.
The duo there of King and Shy, masterfully playing with the player in hell. Baiting peeks out of them, making them very uncomfortable. And that little skip over the top from Shy onto Generator, like you said, just completely ruins them. The whole retake too had Taco Leah dashing forwards from heaven. I mean, look how aggressive Taco is off the back of the recon dart. You don't very often see a mid-air Hunter's Fury kill onto a jet. But that's a great retake. We don't quite know what to expect from these two teams in terms of anticipated scorelines. Last time KRU played on this map, they got smacked around, but LEV have been banning it.
And that's a massive round to win. Put it into perspective with the economy once more. It's brought them right back into it. Turret catching the contact close to the corner. Spam, it forces Nagset. He's got to just swing wide out of danger.
The reaction is quick though through mid. Kesnit's going to try and take advantage of the fact that LEVIATAN are fighting over B main to get very, very deep.
He's aware.
Yes, but it's pulled him away from Catwalk, and now there's an opening there.
This is beautiful. KRU are finding all the gaps in terms of that defensive protocol. It's up to King, and Aurora aim duel. Nade out. Drop to the floor. No angles to watch for. Pop flash play. Does he really want to try and take this fight? He blinded up the two of them enough, long enough to be favored for it. Close. Hugging the corner. Kesnit still there. Dash to disengage. Shy. Does he want another go of it? Try and take the fight. TP. It is tumultuous. It is chaotic. It's right clicks right into his face just in time. No command. Ripping forwards. Trying to take away the blade storm from him. Facing with the fight. Kesnit. How's he got that? He's not lacking the confidence. He wants to take it straight to them, but he's low. Spike drop down. 35 seconds left. Which direction does he want to go into? It's a 1v2. Backing away now.
So frantic.
All over the bloody
30
place.
seconds left.
His position is noted. It's spotted already. He's got two players hot on the tail, and they are very healthy. A tap. An attempt to force. One more dash still active as well. He's earned that one prior from the kills. He gets the plant down. But as he tries to take the fight, King is so damn calm and consistent.
And that's a frantic round on both sides, but many questions being posed there by KRU. I think the reactive play down mid is excellent from Kesnit. He gets so deep there, and King is in a spot where he's got everything to do. He's got to worry about Kesnit flanking him from behind. He's got to stop the cat push from coming through. He's got to make sure he doesn't get overwhelmed while he's using his molly and his flash. But he takes the right risks at the right time. And the IGL team captain for LEVIATAN that sailed them through such sticky waters in the past comes up good again.
8-1. That's what he's currently setting up. The kills to death.
This was his map.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when I think of King and I think of huge performances, the map that comes to mind is Ascent. But the formulaic way in which LEVIATAN had drilled discipline into their players to stick to the game plan, stick to the protocols, it ended up biting them. Valen was talking about it. Ascent, from a pro player perspective, is quite a simple map. There's a lot of different things that you can do, but everyone plays the same compositions, or at least did do back before the Viper Harbor stuff started coming a bit more common.
Yeah, don't say that to Paper X.
Well, that's quite true. But a lot of the teams are playing this exact same composition, and LEVIATAN wrote the playbook on a lot of it. And now we're seeing them mix things up and add a few of their normal plays with a lot of different ones and send KRU scrambling.
What we wanted to see. Evidence of that one, forcing them to the timeout. The bread and butter of LEVIATAN for such a long period of time. I mean, they really did write the textbook in terms of how they wanted to play this. You can copy a lot of the defensive setups. They are solid, but they became too predictable. But now we're seeing it just enough in terms of it being mixed up, the adaptability, it's fluid.
And 3 out of 4 of their rounds are retakes, something that was fantastic for them over towards Pearl. I mean, they were almost immaculate on that. I think they won 5 out of 6 of their retakes.
Advantages need to be found here for KRU, but be hard pressed to do so. Even the ults they've got. Could use a lockdown to try and clear out the sides, but Nagset is on the section to where all of KRU are grouped up, and even if he did use it, there's plenty of tools left for Lev to try and use as well, just to get rid of it. Now,
it's another swap up, and I'm looking at Noswa with his Hunter's Fury. He's going to have a great line to try and put a lot of pressure on these guys. If they decide that they're going to push, here it comes.
Let's it rip all the way through. Updraft, Kesnit avoiding it. The bursts now firing off, but really no indicator of where they are. It was an attempt of a trap play off of Shy's alarm bot. That was the whole purpose of it, but it was broken so early they didn't know what timing to take with it.
And instead, it's Shy that takes a ton of damage, and he's got to stay alive here. The retake is going to rely on his lockdown.
Massively giving up control of mid damage right through the wall as well. The wall back kills. Taco's fallen. And suddenly, I mean, just like that, the defense.
He's 1 HP swinging.
1 HP, Kesnit. Bro, he's cut off the bottom section of his screen. Doesn't care how much health he has. I mean, so willing to take these fights. Now, Mazzino, he TP'd into the back of the site. So much more to do in that scenario. Committing the ultimate to shore it up, but leaves it up to Shy.
Is this Kesnit just in full carry mode?
Oh, yeah. Feels like it.
He's so happy to take the duel, and it's the two big star players for either team. It's not necessarily tackle fighting against Kesnit, but it was Kesnit there taking the duel against King. King stood at Switch, trying to shut down the star entry player of KRU. A player that he could have potentially had at the beginning of the season playing on his team. A 1-2 punch that would have been nuts to watch. But LEVIATAN decided to go in a different direction in the offseason. And then Kesnit manages to take down Takolia, finally brought down, that 1 HP reduced to 0. But it's LEV who are feeling the hurt. It's so tough to tell how many rounds KRU actually need here on the attack side for us to consider it a good half. I mean, already they're winning in terms of the gun rounds. LEVIATAN, half of theirs coming off the pistol and the follow-up. But what's a good scoreline here? For most teams, we would talk about like a 5-7 half being good on attack, but there's so many unknowns on ascent.
Don't know what to expect. Long break for these teams. I mean, you can go by the numbers, the averages, but yeah, it feels difficult to try and apply those labels to both of these teams. Also, just pre-aiming, expecting there to be a dart. Kind of landed to the 0 point, so he gets tagged up there. Taco now with the dash. It's activated. He's close to the corner.
Here.
Real danger of this one. There it is. Flash play. Fires, repositions close to the wall here. He needs to be bailed out. Smoke, waiting for the bullets. Repositions even closer here, but, well, yeah, that's King. He's looking to try and take a fight as well to try and help him escape, but he ends up paying for it.
Isn't that always the way? Your teammate gets in danger, you die trying to bail him out.
Another pop flash play. Reactions are good and clean, but there it is. The Phantom spam, Mazzino. He's quick on it, pushing all the way through, trying to take the fight to him, and again it's left up to Shy. He's caught it on the tail end and nags it. There's 1 kill, but still 2 players remaining.
Kesnit is looking to reposition here. Now that they know where Shy is, he's got good information, but this may give Shy 2 1v1. And what is that play from Melzer?
Oh my, and Kesnit whips the shot still. But Shy wants to take the fight right to him. No messing around, no funny business, no nuance for it.
Win. Show me where to go.
Granted Kesnit another chance to close it, and of course he does. 4-4.
Too close though.
Yeah,
Shy
very close.
Shy in a 1v3. Almost being able to pull it away. But this entire round was about trying to bail out Takolia. They knew that Takolia was playing in close mid. They combo a flash recon on the fly. You can see the pings as they audibly call for that play to happen. And it kind of drew in everybody else from LEVIATAN to try and bail them out.
Yep.
And that's knocked LEVIATAN's economy down as we head into this round. They're looking to try and make something happen with Taco pushing out with the Guardian. And Mazzino looking to take fights. It smacks of desperation, though, the way that Lev are starting to play this half.
All the shots missing. Pop flash play through the middle of the smoke. They're playing anti. There's a paranoia. It's nice used, but a little bit too late there. Still, damage is being done to these players deep into mid. Where's the follow-up? It's not really there. It's non-existent. Taco open and hunting for a head, but nah.
They're all looking to try and fight mid from many different angles, swinging on catwalk, swinging from market. It does feel desperate, but also credit to KRU. They're not getting caught out by this. They're becoming defined as a team that neutralizes your aggression.
Yeah.
Spike planted.
And usually that's coming from their players on the extremity. That's coming from, you know, an Agzet or a Davies when he's playing the Sentinel. Something like that, but instead here it's the 3 players that are looking to try and take map control, that are holding angles and making sure that Lev don't get away with anything. These swings on catwalk might catch off a less ready team. But KRU look right here, prepared for everything, and happy to just slow the round down when they're getting pressured. Who is this KRU? I mean, the KRU during the regular season would have been trying to react quickly, pop into places. Kesnit flying off into the distance, leaving the rest of his team behind. This squad is now excellent at just being able to hold space.
Waiting it out. The protocol's in play as well, just Players playing anti-flash, always contingencies if there is that next level of aggression.
And winning a lot of their duels. It's got to be said.
Yeah.
It's one thing to hold an angle and be favored in a fight, but if your players aren't informed, you're going to lose it. You're going to end up falling to pieces.
A lot of our focus, of course, is going to be on the Jet players, that Jet head-to-head in this matchup, but I mean, special mention to players like Klaus, I think, sitting at 10-6 so far on this map. This man has had just such a resurgence off the back of it. He was looking done and dusted, man. Done and dusted at the end of the regular season. Not putting up the numbers, not really earning the spot on the roster. It sounds, it sounds quite harsh, but that's the reality of competition at this kind of level as well. One slip-up, it all really does matter, but you get granted one last chance. That's what this is all about. Last chance qualifier. My God, have Crew been running with it.
They certainly have. I mean, if they're able to pull this off, and there's still a while to go, this BO5 is a bit of a marathon, and it's winnable for either squad. But I think it was Sean that said it on the desk this morning. It could be the greatest redemption run of all time. A team going 0-9 in the regular season and then winning LCQ to book their spot at champs. That's unheard of.
It is unheard of. Yeah,
You would. It's not that you couldn't write it. You wouldn't write it because no one would believe it.
Yeah, no one's buying that one. Here we stand. Trying to fight over A main control here from Lev. Normally a bit more passive with the approach, but they are disrespecting it. Crew already running, grouping up now outside of B. Big Old's online, of course. They have the lockdown. So does Shy.
And the pressure over towards A, right, has just kept these three players over on this side of the map, unable to really do too much. Now they're going to start to rotate as the drone comes through. But it could be a little too late.
Lockdown for a lockdown, though. There is ults to clear this. Hunter's Fury. It's going to be utilized. Going to clear that one up. So, have to respect the space. Nothing to break the opposite side of it, though, but they will just use the guns. Rifles. Spamming down that angle. Melza. He's the first to fall. They finally get themselves into it. Anything to try and stop plays from flooding in. Just close-up positions. Plan. Starting to get off. No smoke for spawn. You've got to be careful.
The positioning, though, is quite nice here. And Davies is going to make sure that there is no retaking utility.
Yeah.
No recon dart, no flashes, no paranoia.
And this
Everybody on Lev has all of their utility left, can't use a thing.
So damn hard. The timing on that ult is really quite precise. It's beautiful stuff. And now finally, as it fades, paranoia. There's the go button being pressed. Lev barreling forwards, pushing forwards, but they still need to deal with Klaus. Close to the corner, he needs to play his life here. The longer he lives, the better it is. And he's claimed a second one, why not? Davies versus King. Battle of them. Time. It's ran too short. King realizes it. He cannot win the round. Gotta get out and save the rifle. Crew. That's beautiful stuff.
And while we had questions about how many rounds was a good half by Crew, at this point, I think we can say they are running away with it. It's Klaus once more, Brent. He's 12-7, you've pointed him out, and he's so good for it. He's in B main, getting pressured by everybody with a recon dart, wondering whether or not he should be trying to take fights or what he should be going for, and he's just taking the nicest little peeks. Catches tackle there, and once they realize he's there, spamming through a small amount, thinks about recon darting, goes for the wide swing instead. It takes them so long to root him out of that spot that they're much weaker on the attempt getting into the site and pressuring the rest of his team.
Beautiful stuff from a player that he's had that resurgence, rejuvenation. And deeper and deeper. And here it is, the final hurdle of LCQ.
Catfish no longer.
Yeah.
Looking like a shark out there.
Yeah. Certainly Lev not going to be coming into this one with any semblance of disrespect. Like a different team, Taco. Jumping wide with the knives, but it's Kesnu who brings him down. With that pick, they don't rush into things. Crew happy to temper it once more. Backing away.
Drop the spike. They need information, so King flashes out into Catwalk. But that also tells Crew which areas of the map they're worried about. And once you see nothing there, you expect King to retreat, and they just contact forwards.
Yeah.
It's a masterful read. We're seeing excellent calling out here. And importantly, risks being taken, the right risks. It is a risk to walk in
30
there.
seconds left.
You have to be sure that your read is correct.
And here we go.
It is.
The space is given up. Mazzino trying to weave in and out the smoke that he placed prior, but only the one. King, such a wide swing. Melzer spots it. Does he seek to try and take the fight alone? No, he waits for his team as well. Settling themselves here. Deep dart around the back. No one actually dealing with this one, but Shy. God almighty. He's the one who falls. That's Nagset right through the wall.
Yeah, I mean, he's lit up by the drone. There's nothing he can do about that.
Yeah. And forced to save. There was 2 rounds left. Whittled it down to just 1.5. And KRU, tremendous lead. It's going to be 7-4.
And while we have seen newer things from LEVIATAN, in these last few rounds, I think the last 4, they've just fallen back to their classic defensive hold. We haven't seen them try to get aggressive. We haven't really seen them mix things up. Putting the Sova over towards A, putting Shy there. They're just trying to make their classic setup work. And KRU are reading them completely. Every piece of noise that LEVIATAN make on the defensive side has a response.
Oh, it's an indicator, right? And they're just jumping on it.
And KRU are playing in such a classic, like, NA style. I know that sounds a bit silly as a LATAM team, but the North American teams forever have been just pugging. I mean that, I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. I mean that they're just running a default and then calling audibles and trying to make the right reaction based on information.
The adaptability.
And it's so adaptable, so good. Melzer's got the right read every time, just based off info. This is a set play.
Yeah, deep. Oh, that's a punish. Into the smoke. Beating his match. The Hunter's Fury is supposed to be the extra piece onto that, but there's really nothing else more. I mean, 1 tag onto it. Actually, a kill onto Davies. King facing them. This has turned into an absolute scramble. King with a solo push, rewarded with 2, and here's the response, here's the reaction.
Cancelled. Mazina was thinking about getting deep onto B and realized he didn't have the time, didn't want to try and fight a 1v2 on site and leave his team to play the rest of the round potentially alone.
They'll take risks here. It's a 2 versus 3. The no command's already let loose and let rip. No abilities in sight. Nagset, what position do you take? Not favored with that fight. Ton of damage. All to the back of the site they go. They realize it's probably the only chance they've got, but there's no time. It's relentless in terms of the pressure. The util that's being flown their way. Flash over the top. There it is, gliding all over the place. Lev, the 5th round on the board. Took everything to get there.
And a set play that really didn't work. KRU still had the right read, and yet Lev muscled past them. The Hunter's Fury does catch one in the end, but it's this play, I think, from King, where he's able to pick off Klaus and then control the re-swing by Melzer. King has been enormous for his team, but we said it before on Split, he needs other people to step up around him.
Yeah. First half locked up here on a set as well. Let's send it down to Sean, who's at the telestrator wall to break down a play.
Indeed, Brent, thank you so much. So this is actually one of the key rounds, I thought, in the half. It kept LEVIATAN in the game, and it shows that they're still super strong on this map. This retake is absolutely wild, following an amazing take of the site. So you can see KRU has positioned themselves for this A take. Kesnet dashed into the Cloudburst, and a Paranoia actually forces the Omen out of the site. Now, as we fast forward a little bit here, I'm trying to hit this good timing here. So the Sova's rotating spawn, and right now this Sova Nazar is actually shooting a dart all the way across the map. That's gonna end up popping right here by the boxes at A main. And watch the timing of all of this util. It is incredible. So right here. So the Omen Paranoia is cutting through the site right now. As Taco, you can see he's about to cloudburst the ground and the sight box, so that way he can dash between the two, creating a lot of space. King is running out of heaven with his flash, and there will also be a molly thrown on the jump up box by Shy. So watch the speed of this, it's insane. The Paranoia makes everyone on KRU unable to break the dart. The dart gets multiple pings, Taco dashes in to create space. Then at this point, the round breaks down to a 3-on-3, and this double peek onto the hell position is truly incredible. They line that up perfectly, and again, for the last kill of the round, King and Shy playing perfectly in tandem, line up a double peek again. This just goes to show LEVIATAN, even though this is their permaban right now, they are still insanely strong on this map. And the fact that it's 5-7 right now, after all the stuff KRU threw at them, I think this opening pistol of this second half is going to mean a lot. Back to you guys, Sideshow and Bren.
I feel like LEVIATAN had some great ideas, but maybe burned up the strat book a little early on their defensive side. Still only able to win 3 of those retakes, despite how amazing that one looked. And Sean's got an incredible breakdown of it there. I'm glad that he pointed out this next pistol round coming up, because with LEVIATAN on the attack side, they either need to have amazing strats cooked up or win these big ones, the pistol, the bonus.
Snowball at the advantages, leading it forwards. Comes down to this.
Look at this stack. Just looking to play a retake, essentially, once the Killjoy utility gets burnt.
It is played as well, just to give up the side entirely. Nanoswarm's front section of Jenny in the switch, hoping for an easy kill. Even the alarm bot as well committed. This might actually do some damage. No, broken.
Both teams holding on to their utility. Mazzino still hasn't used his paranoia. King still has a flash. On the other side of things, you've got Recon, you've got paranoia still. So this is going to be a big retake. And look at Shy, he's miles away from this. He's going to be on a very late repush up through Catwalk. This is probably going to happen after these guys from KRU have already committed.
Yeah, it's going to come down to this push and pull. Which team gets the most out of their utility? Paranoia sent flying over. The dart eventually dealt with the backstab of Shy. Does collect and does claim a kill. Davies is left wondering where is the opposition. Could go in any sort of direction and leaves it into the 1v2. Shy still healthy, low enough. There's the shot that lands with Klaus. Is quick with it. 3 kills on either side, but he does win out his.
And both teams looking really good there in terms of how they were trying to fend people off. The timing excellent from Shy with the backstab, but overwhelming utility and heaven control from KRU. There was a setup there for LEVIATAN to try and flash and peek into heaven and disrupt all of this. This is the play. And what is that?
Yeah.
That's tackle on the jump up spot. That's incredible awareness from Kesnit, because he knows the only reason to flash heaven is if the Jet is going to try and push. And he knows the only way they're going to do that is on the jump up box. That's the play. That's the kill that, in my opinion, wins KRU that retake. And it's a ridiculous one.
The pistol round was so damn important. Leading into the A5. And we've been saying this all series long, but it feels like the other team immediately wins the eco.
That's very true.
Even after losing it, so.
But crucially, you know, the other team were able to win the eco because of, like, large stacks on a certain site, something like that. Lev can't really go for that kind of play. They're playing the attack side here. Even if they group up, KRU are going to have ways of holding them off.
Yeah.
So we need to see, I mean, share of headshots, essentially, right? That's the win condition for Lev if they want to get back into this one early.
Carmen core strat. Spotting out the players, though. Yeah. It's going to come down to the Lev players. Ooh, a lot of damage. Even the dart as well. Kesnit forced to respect it. No space gain, though, in mid. Nobody really wants to vacuum it up on the Lev attack side. Grouping up. Looking for the B split. Have that mid control. See if they can deal with his turret. There it is. Finally gone. Deep shot dart. No one close to the corner. Here's our weak, hasn't it? Just need to be careful here because they have lost control of that mid. You can see him slightly aware of it. 20 seconds left in the round. Coming down to it, time starting to really burn down. You don't want to be saving these guns if you are Lev. You've got to make a go of things. You've got to try and push forwards. Well, why not? With the time pressure comes the mistakes, but still, it's all onto this. Can they try and get this plan down? 4 seconds left. No, it was no smooth with it. Not winnable.
Unfortunate scenes for LEVIATAN there because they did everything else beautifully. The contact play into B. I mean, I was reminded of what Coach Atom said during that coach interview, where he said, we gave them too much space on Pearl, referring to LEVIATAN. We gave LEVIATAN too much space. And part of that was how they were playing on the defense side, but also here, you know, sat really deep in sight, allowing Lev to walk in on B, and only the time helping KRU in that kind of spot.
Yeah. Maybe copping a little bit too much from Carmen Core there, so.
This buy in round 15 has nothing going for it on the KRU side. All of that damage done in round 14 leaves them with a single Bulldog. And Lev is still going to invest the lockdown. That's a massive amount of respect.
Yeah. Clears out the side, Melzer. Pushed into mid, Taco. Uh-oh, damage done. He doesn't win his fight out. 2 players detained, though. Is there going to be an attempt to punish? Kesnit close to the corner. It's making sure to try and defend his teammates. This really is anyone's game. Dropping the gun. Tainment's eventually going to be fading away. 3 versus 3 still. Rifles in the hands. Mazino and Shy. Mazino taking a fight into them. Up close, onto Heaven.
That's a dangerous play to go for when you're in a 3v3 with better rifles.
Yeah.
But he makes it work.
They have handed over the guns though. Still, Crew could turn this. Don't really have the utility to get into this. They have a paranoia.
Mazino's ready to hold it. He's waiting for any noise.
Not ready yet.
Here it is, ripping across the site. There's the one. Will we see the follow-up? Yeah, Mazino watching onto Heaven. Dealing with it. Melzer, be happy to do some damage. Happy to take the guns away, but no, shut down in the end. So, respect showcase. Could have gone a little bit wrong there, but no, Lev win that round.
And a big one for Mazino. I was asking another player to step up alongside King. In the first half, on Pearl, when they were able to mount that level of comeback, I feel like it was Mazino having those big moments. He's a player that got exchanged in the offseason from one team to another. Mazino was always the second best player on Crew behind Kesnet. He has to show it here in this game. They're going to head into a rifle round. He's got his Omen ult. I've seen some wild strategies with his Omen ult, but he just plays things slow and cautious.
Fake it a TP. Trying to bait the shots maybe as well. Close to the corner, that is Kesnet. Taking a fight into mid. Lots of opportunities. These kills to flow one way or another. Nagset, don't expect that one. Killjoy player to be cutting it up close into the corner into B main. This is Crew really setting themselves up now for that 10th round. Point with this spike fade. It's all about the time he's taken inside of it. Another one blooms and blossoms. Mazino holding the paranoia. I mean, he's waiting for it. Some sort of signal. There it is from the rest of his team. Starting to move forwards with Melzer inside the smoke. Holding it. Counter paranoia. Swinging wide. Everybody stunted and stopped in their tracks. They knew where King was. One player left alive. Nozwa with the spike. 45 seconds. It would have to be a 1v5. Just not probable. Just not likely. It's a double face. It's going to be meeting him here. Yeah. Easily won with the gun duels.
Yeah. Easy being the important word there, I think. LEVIATAN making it far too simple for Crew to dismantle them. I mean, in terms of the positioning that these players are dying in, look how aggressive Shy is in this spot, just completely alone. And then how aggressive Mazino is, completely alone as well. And the other 3 players that are playing around in mid, Nozwa isn't really assisting as Taco and King push up deep. Only 2 players there get caught taking a jet head-to-head. You know, Shy and Mazino are not controlling the outsides of the map in the same way that Crew are. They're trying to actually get aggressive and see if they can make something happen. And when those individuals get stopped, Lev really don't have a great way of responding. So with King picking up that ult orb, it makes me think whether or not he's going to make the large wraparound all the way back to A main. Now, that's an area that Shy's currently controlling. Maybe the idea is to get the null command online for this round.
Drone for a drone.
If their plan is to cross over to A, going through mid with no smokes up is dangerous.
Very dangerous. Quite exposed anyway, just by that utility. Down to a minute left. They made it too obvious. Now, look where Melzer is. Tucked into
and again,
the wine.
look, Mazino is just on his own trying to take map control here. And it's very dangerous. If Melzer and Davies try any kind of re-clear situation, they might catch the Omen on attack.
Kesnet.
The spike is over towards B at the same time here. This is a strange play. But Mazino's got his ult. He's going to be able to TP on B and help the rest of the team.
I mean, they're going to attempt a fake as well. They got to win these fights though. Mazino, he's so damn low.
He can't die.
Exactly. He can't die. The TP! It's not in time. The nade clears him out. 25 seconds left. Spike making his way towards B, but they've anchored it towards the back of the site now. It's Melzer and Nagset together. Side by side, willing to put a stop to this one. Shy drops it down, and the spike out in the open. It comes down to this. It's anarchy, it's carnage, it's individual fights to try and make a path through into the round, down to the final few seconds, and King's not in position. Not at all to try and win it out. Has to save the gun once more. And Crew clawing their way once more to another map win.
And not only does he have to save, but gets picked off in the end. Devastating situation for the IGL for LEVIATAN to be in. Forced to play on the map that they've been banning recently and running an elaborate fake that was overcooked, to be honest. the thing is, when Taco isn't having success entering on a real site take, you can't actually run those kind of fakes very well. Because the defenders just aren't going to give you the time of day. They're not going to respect it. They're going to try and challenge Taco. They've taken him down in mid in the prior round. Then they take him down in cat. And the entire thing falls to pieces. Again, with Mazzino, you know, getting stuck there on a re-clear setup, too far forwards, not able to TP in time. And even if he had pulled off the ultimate, there was nowhere to go. I mean, they still controlled B.
Tries to TP into the back of the side to try and distract. There was 2 players there waiting for him.
It's overcooked, and KRU look like they're in a dominant position to be able to close this out. Looking like the far better team on Ascent. A map where they got bullied by Cloud9. Running against a very different comp with the Viper in the sky. But still, there's a big reason why KRU decided to go here.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of people might have been wondering, you know, do KRU want to ban Ascent? Use that second ban to remove this from the pool, but just very confident that even though they've been beaten recently, they can take it away from LEVIATAN.
King's built up this ultimate. Got to look at the silver lining to see if there is a way for Lev to get just the 1 round at a time. Nag's also sitting on a big ultimate of his own, though. Locked down at play. Could be looking...
This is just fast B.
Really the turning point, and yeah, it will be the fast B play.
Now, when King's in this spot, he normally just throws tons of utility into lane for Taco to entry on.
It's a knife. Odin spam into the corner. He knows the sidelines, he knows the lineups, but there's danger there. He could be punished. Dart tagging him up. There's going to be the res all the way up. King's back into the fight, but again, Klaus still kicking with the Odin spamming away. 22 bullets left, but still just enough to evaporate and turn Lev into absolute mincemeat. It's a bloodbath. Towards the site, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Klaus hopping around, looking like he wants to get more kills, but he still has to reload the Odin. Yeah, Kesnit watching his back throughout all of that too, making sure he couldn't get punished. And puts things in an impossible situation for Taco and Nozwa. They got 45 health between them.
Not enough, is it? Especially with them grouped all the way up. Playing it together. Safety in numbers. Happy to give Nozwa free access to the A site. As soon as the plan goes down, that'll be the indicator.
And just player of the map so far for me is Klaus. He's just had so many of these rounds where he's controlled the outcome of what was happening completely.
Also realizing he has to try and take an early fight, but the tower... Oh, Timmy! Oh, boy.
And if that isn't the story of Ascent,
Match point.
I don't know what is.
Yeah. Analyst desk just needs to be breaking down that 1 round. Slow motion. Replay it, stretch it out to about 2 minutes.
Yeah, this one's been devastating for Lev.
I think Klaus's heads-up play here. I mean, the Odin pickup is magnificent for any sort of fast pushes.
Yep.
You try and run it down with no command, you're going to get beamed down.
And this is the kind of setup where I would be expecting, usually, Taco to try... They didn't even realize that they got the kill. I mean. A bit of Schadenfreude there. So coming into this, KRU up towards map point.
Talking about the deciders, KRU. You just need the 1 more. Again, still with the ults in the back pocket. It's Lev pushed to the brink here. Guardians purchased. And Taco wants to lead it for his team. Great opener. Can you capitalize? Can you turn it into anything else? Dash forwards into it. Paranoia cutting close. That is a Hunter's Fury. It forces him into an updraft. Right out into the open, wide.
That's amazing coordination and communication for Klaus to set that up.
What an incredible call. Zeno creeping and crawling onto the side, trying to make something of it. Nozwa, why not? Let it rip, son. Gotta try and find a pick. But there are no targets there. Shots going so damn wide here. 2 players. Trying to make the most. Not hiding the noise here. Shy still is walking. There's 1. Nag set. 2 versus 3 now. Grouped up together, but brought down. With just the Guardian, Nozwa.
30 seconds left.
I'll be saying goodbye to the dreams of trying to win out this map. Instantaneous is the trade. KRU, just sublime. You get to the second half of Ascent, they were completely in control.
What a run this team has been on. I mean, they just look awesome in these kind of moments. And certainly, they were crushing them. I mean, the